Hey sis, have you ever had a moment where something emotional happened, right? And it was like maybe even like a conversation, a situation, or like something that you were thinking about, right? And then afterwards, shortly after or right after, you just felt drained. You just felt drained. Not even just a little bit tired, but literally you felt drained to where it's like your energy dropped, like you needed some space to recuperate, and like you just could not do anything else at the moment. If you've experienced that, come on, pull a chair up, let's talk about it. Because actually it's more common than you think. All right. My name is Melinda. I'm a registered nurse, life coach, and mentor. And on our channel, we focus on faith, healing, and emotional wellness. If at any time any of this message touches you, or you feel the vibe of the channel, please like and subscribe. I love to have you on our YouTube family. I'm a newer channel, so I'm trying to grow our family. All right, let's get back to the message though, because like I said, this is more common than you think. But let's talk about why this happens. I'm a nurse, and so I love breaking down like why. I research this stuff and try to figure out what's going on. So it happens because like emotions, they take energy, right? And so anytime you're processing something emotionally, your mind and your body are working, okay? And so that work that's happening in your mind and body, that in itself can leave you feeling tired. Yes, like sometimes it can literally drain you depending on how much work is going on. And so let's talk about like a little bit deeper into it, because when you experience like strong emotions, your nervous system activates. It's just like, because when it's strong emotions, your nervous system activates. Remember, your fight or flight is always trying to, protect you, and then your nervous system is trying to protect you, and so it's activated, okay? And so what happens is that your body may shift from like a state of alertness, fight or flight, stress, or emotional intensity. Okay. And after that activation, so like what happens after that is that your body needs to come back down, because remember, it got all worked up, fight or flight, and all these emotions and stuff, so it's heightened. So now your body needs to come back down. Okay. And so I like analogies. If you're new to the channel, or first time watching, I love giving analogies so I can bring it home and make it make sense, and so you really feel it. So here's an analogy. It's like your phone battery after too many apps. So like you have your cell phone, right? And you know how we have all the apps on our phone. It's kind of like all these apps, they've been running in the background. Now you're not using them right now because you're busy doing whatever. Just like now, I'm not using my phone, but I have all these apps running, and in the background it's just running, just continuing on. And so I'm not using it, but because the apps are running, it's draining my battery, right? Because they're running in the background. So even with you, like even if you're not physically doing anything, back to our subject, even if you're not physically doing anything, your energy was still being used, right? And so eventually your system, what happens is your system, it starts slowing down because it needs to recharge, because it's been worked up, right? So now, even though you haven't been doing much of anything, but because it's been so heightened and so up there, it needs to recharge, it needs to calm down, right? So it starts slowing down so it can recharge. Because why? Because you need your rest. That's why rest is so important. And let's talk about though, why does it feel so heavy? Well, it feels heavy because emotional moments, what happens is they often involve like thinking, feeling, and processing. And that takes energy, right? Thinking, feeling, processing. And so that's all happening at the same time. So, and that can be a lot. Just think about it. Think and feel and process, and think and feel and process, and think and feel and process. It's just think. And if it's so much at once, think and feel and process. That's exhausting just to say it. So can you imagine that running through like your nervous system and your system? That's why sometimes it needs to slow down because it's too much. And so sometimes what most people do is they ignore that feeling. They kind of push through it anyway. You know what? I'm just going to run through it. I'm going to push through it. You know, I know my body's speaking to me, but I'm going to push through it. Or they just keep going and, like I said, push through it. And so, but guess what happens when you do that? It makes the exhaustion even worse because now you're just pushing through it. So that's a more energy, more stuff on your nervous system, more, processing and all this because you're just pushing through it. And so let's talk about what's happening inside your body when all this is going on, right? So that drained feeling that we talked about, like feeling just drained, that is actually your nervous system coming down from activation. That's why you feel so drained. You were all up there, and your nervous system is trying to bring it down. And that's why you're just so drained with it. Your body is trying to reset. And so your mind may say something like, why am I so tired? And then your body is saying, that took energy. I need a moment. Your mind is like, I'm tired. Your body's like, I need a moment. That was a lot of energy. Okay. And so instead of fighting that feeling, when you feel that your body starts speaking to you, you can honor it. Okay. And so remember though, rest is not a weakness. Like I know, like when I was like a nurse manager and stuff like that, like on one of my on like around COVID and all that stuff, and then afterward, I remember like being so exhausted because I wouldn't take off because as a nurse leader and stuff like that, it's like you're a lot of times it's like it's 24/7, even though your shift is over if something goes down or whatever, and then with all this stuff like you're getting all these calls. So I never would take off work. I had hundreds and hundreds of hours of leave and stuff like that, but my body would feel it. It's like it wasn't until my chief of staff like one day he was like, Melinda, like this not healthy, it's not a good work life balance. And I was watching him. He was taking all his vacations, and here I am. Okay, I'm the nurse manager and everybody's got to, they keep calling me and this and that, and everybody's thing is my issue and all that. No, that was not healthy. So I learned from that experience to never do that again because work life balance is important and rest is important. So even to where on my job now, like the other day I worked over it, but for the most part I've been trying not to do that because it's not healthy. Because think about it, if you just keep going and keep going, like your brain never shuts down because now it's like you're thinking, what did I miss, or did I forget this, or oh dang, I need to do two more of those, or dang, I have this more, I need to work this case, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. And then it's like your brain never gets out of work mode. And then it's like if you think about it, like your household is suffering because now you're still in work mode and you're not like in the present. So I had to I try to pride myself now on having good work life balance, and I have rest days. Like I'll go do like a spa day, I'll do pedicure, I'll go walk. I've been trying to walk better, like 5 days a week at least and stuff like that. Just get out in nature, in the sun, rejuvenate, and just walk away from work and stuff like that. So it is important, and it also is important just sometimes just to do nothing, just to rest, to recover from everything. Okay. And so here's some steps. I might have kind of jumped ahead of what I was going to say because I did write down some steps so I can stay on track because, I get going in the conversation and in the moment and I'll go. But here's some practical steps that's like research based that'll help you if you're dealing with this. So, one, give yourself space, which is what I talked about. Step away if you need to. Sometimes just stepping away, taking a break, and sometimes it's good too for work because it gives you fresh, like a fresh look and fresh eyes. Like if you step away and actually take a break and eat, get your nutrition and stuff like that, or keep your mind off work for like 30 minutes or an hour, whatever your break time is, and then you come back. Or if you're in a situation that's like, busy, and if you're an entrepreneur and you're, running here, running there, doing this, that, or the other, take a step away, you come back, you're more creative. Some people feel like, and I can't speak for everybody, but I know there are some people that they do better, with the grain against the wall and going. But after that, you go and do that, then okay, take some TLC for yourself, do something nice for yourself, go eat or something like that. Second thing is regulate your body, like breathe. I talk about breaths a lot. Slow down because these breaths help you so much. Like when you feel yourself getting worked up and overwhelmed, you could just take a breath in. Let the breath out be longer than the one that was in. Like you could do 5 seconds in and like 7, 8 to 10 seconds out, and do that like 3 to 5 times. That will kind of help you like de-stress some. Just slow down a little bit in general. Like if you are, feeling yourself getting worked up in general, just step away, slow down for a minute. The other thing, number three, you could do is limit your overthinking. Like after, like as situations or conversations, don't replay every single thing. Don't overthink everything because again, you're getting your system like working up, and sometimes the overthinking may be unnecessary. Because sometimes I'm an overthinker too. So when I talk to you, I'm talking to myself, but a lot of times it's unnecessary. Like some things, it's just like I'm like now I kind of train my brain to be like, okay, Melinda, you don't worry about that. Like, do you have to worry about that today? If not, if the answer is no, no. And then now I've been like, listening to my like like water sounds and stuff like that, going outside or actually watching a movie because that takes my mind off of if I'm thinking of something, reading, preparing stuff for you guys, researching. That kind of helps me. So make sure you ground yourself. Don't replay everything. That was number three. Number four, make sure you ground yourself in stillness. I kind of talked about that. Like I go outside, take walks. You could go to a spa, go get you a pedicure, go to a store. Some just walk around just to browse. Retail therapy. Don't spend too much money, or whatever, or just window shop, or just kind of walk around, stuff like that, just to reset your energy. That sun is very good. That vitamin outside, vitamin D stuff, like and getting a rays from the sun, that kind of helps rejuvenate you and stuff like that. Um, Number five, allow yourself to rest. And I talked about that mentally and emotionally. Both of them is important because the one thing I do that may be helpful to someone is because like I'm like all over the place a lot and stuff like that, busy doing this, that, and the other. One thing I do that I have continued to do is I have my phone set like at nighttime, a certain time. Like right now, I think it's on what's that, sleep mode, do not disturb, or whatever, that privacy time or whatever, and then it doesn't come back on until like tomorrow at I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock, and it's the same like all week. Is set at a set time. It goes on focus mode. That's what it's called, focus mode, where like anybody can just call. If you have like family members, spouses, or something like that, you could set it to where only certain people can get through on your focus mode, or when you're on do not disturb, and those people can get through. You can set your phone like that. But that's one thing that like I protect my peace, especially at night. Don't come calling me. Like I don't want all that stuff at nighttime. People calling you with all kinds of drama and stuff like that. And it's like half the time you can't do anything about it anyway. And the other half of the time, well, sometime a tiny bit it may have something to do with you, but a lot of times it has nothing to do with you. It's other people's issues and problems that we just kind of take on because we are those type of people that's very empathetic and we want to help everybody and stuff like that. But I've learned that you have to recharge yourself. And so you could just set your phone to like, the focus mode for certain time frames, and it automatically comes. You can set it like each day of the week, Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday, like whatever times you want. Like if you want certain times on Monday through Friday, that's how I have mine. And then on the weekend, on Saturday, Sunday, it's at a different time, but it's set something every day. And so just making sure you be able to mentally and physically, emotionally be able to rest, because I'm telling you, and I'm sure, if you're anything like me, you probably are because you're watching this channel, but we are people that love helping everybody. We will give people the shirt off our back. We will go to bat for everybody and stuff like that. But sometimes, sis and bro, if you're watching this, if you're a male, a guy, like it's to your detriment. And so I had to learn that the hard way. It's still not that it's bad, and it's not that it was a lesson learned, but I had to have a balance. And so like I don't do as much like as I used to. I still go hard for people that I care about and stuff like that, but I still have a balance as far as my time and stuff like that. So that's the last step. Allow yourself to rest, time to rest. And then just because you handled it, though, remember this: just because you handled it doesn't mean it didn't affect you. Okay. You can go through stuff and handle this, that, and the other. Just because you handle it, sometimes it still affected you, and you just kind of have to work through it. So, the other thing is that God understands when you're overwhelmed. He knows, He sees the beginning and the end. Yeah, sometimes it's like He'll sit your butt down and be like, you're doing too much. And I know it too. Sometimes it's like, Melinda, you doing too much. Go sit down somewhere. And so I had to sit down. You know what I mean? And sometimes, peace looks like stepping back, which I keep talking about that rest. I cannot stress enough the importance of getting your rest. I know it sounds like a little thing, but no, it's super important. Get your rest. And sometimes too, like, you could even even if you're in a relationship or not, either way, you could go get you something to eat by yourself, or go take a stroll walking around your neighborhood, just all kind of stuff that'll rejuvenate you and let you rest. Okay. And so you don't always have to just push through. I think that's the main point of all this too. Don't just push through. Okay. You really need to take care of yourself. Okay. You really do. So, if you've been feeling drained after emotional moments, I want you to understand these things. You're not weak, you're not overreacting. You've just been processing something that took so much of your energy. And it's okay to give yourself some time to recover, okay? So, if this message helped you, please like and subscribe. And as always, I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and happiness. Bye.